Careless choice, you're on your knees. You beg someone's love, but you are on your but they'll never change. Did you arrange to spend the rest of time in a higher state of mind?
All right. Well, welcome everyone to episode 12 of Higher Minds. Um, we got a very special guest tonight. I mean, they're all special, but I'm excited about this one today. Um, Somebody that I've known about for a while back, that I was made aware of in the Mandela community back in 2017, 2018. Um, and it's my first chance getting to actually talk to him, and he's got a lot to say. A lot of you know who he is. Uh, Tonight we're talking to Propagate This Light. So how's it going, Prop? How you doing tonight?
I'm stunned. You know why I'm stunned right now?
Why are you stunned?
That intro song. I love it, man. That
Oh,
is, yeah, I like that song, man. I like that
cool.
song for
Well,
some reason.
yeah. Well, you can the person who sang that song is in the chat. That was Mr. Super Sidewinder. Uh, and he put that together,
Oh,
I think, with Joe King and Boston Ray on the guitar. So uh, I'm sure he appreciates that. I love that song too. I play it all the time.
I did not know that, Mr. Sidewinder. Wow, that's him singing?
That's him singing. Yep, that is him singing.
Man,
Yeah, I
like,
play a lot of
there's,
his songs that he sings uh, on these lives. So yeah, he makes some good music.
yeah, I remember hearing it before on one of your other broadcasts, and I mentioned in the chat that I liked it, but I was busy doing things out, but I know what I like when I hear it. So I wasn't really focused, but I was focused.
Uh
But
huh.
this time I'm really, really, just to be honest, this time I'm really, you know, getting a good whiff of it. And it's exactly what I thought. It's exactly what I thought. Yeah, that's pretty dope. I mean, yo, man, give people their flowers while they're here, man. I've been saying I like that song.
Yeah.
Um, so, and it's cool because it's a part of the community. It's not like something you downloaded.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's like, to be honest with you, what happened is that once I got comfortable streaming live with Sandy, I got this idea, and I thought I want to start doing a live stream where the audience, the listeners are the focus, and give them a chance. Somebody who doesn't have a channel or who has a super small channel like mine, to give them a voice and just be able to talk or whatever. Um, and so I came up with that idea, and then when I had mentioned it to Mr. Super Sidewinder, he was like, "Oh yeah, me and a couple buddies had that same exact idea about a year ago. Like we made a song for it and everything, an intro." And so I mean, he had already had the song based on the same idea of the show that I'd thought of, and then we just happened. And he's like, "If you want it, you can have it. You can use it." And it's stuck ever since. So. Uh, Yeah, it was quite a stroke of luck.
Yeah, yeah. I know this is not about the song, but I just have to say, all this time I just really didn't know like the source of the song when I heard it, on your other broadcast. And I
Hmm.
must have missed the others. I must have missed the other songs you played, so I would love to hear those. But did say in the back of my head that would be cool if that was someone because I have a feeling that's someone that did this song. Because
Yeah.
I've seen, like you said, Boston Ray was on guitar and whatnot. So I've seen some of these some of these people do things on online. Some people in the community do things with music online. So I know some people could play instruments and things or sing or whatever. Um, so it wasn't a surprise that it's actually someone that shows up in the chat. So I just want to say that song is pretty dope. And just real fast, it's a good idea that you wouldn't use the clouds above. When I watch that, when you're playing the music, it comes across almost gospel like in a way
Uh-huh.
because it's like the show is called Higher Minds, and the song is going to to the name of the show, and then you kind of think about God a little bit, looking at the clouds, and you know what I mean. You get it, so it's like it's
Yeah.
perfect. So
Yeah.
you're doing a good job.
Well, even
Thank you for
the
having.
yeah.
You're doing a good job.
Well, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, even the video Mr. Super did, like with the clouds and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I had absolutely nothing to do with the production of that video. I just had the privilege to get to use it. But but yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah. Well, thank you for
But
being here. Sorry, go ahead.
oh yeah, I'm here in the digital space, and I'm doing well. And yeah, a lot of people tell me that, yo, man, that song you played at the intro prop, that was, but yeah, I'm feeling the vibe with the song you played, so that was pretty cool. Cool. I think you're going in a good direction. So I'm doing great. I'm on a good show, and we haven't even started yet. How about that?
Yep. Well, let's get it started with a shout out. Looks like we got a few people in the crowd, uh, a few names that we both know. Uh, and so tonight we had Mr. Super Sidewinder was first, and then in the studio Michael Fontaine, who was a previous guest, and then we got myself and you, Propagate This Light, uh, and then Golden Sai jumped into the chat, and Lori Lugnut is here. Hi, Lori. Uh, and if I remember correctly, I believe that's Mr. Super's sister, if I'm correct. Uh, correct me if I'm wrong. Uh, and that's who we got so far. So thank you everybody for being here. We appreciate you listening, and I think we have some good conversation for you. Uh, oh yeah, and also yeah, you can if you can let us know if the audio is good, if it's low or high, or how we sound, because we sound good on this end, so we want to make sure it sounds good. All right, yeah, see, I was correct. So so to get started here, I had a couple of questions for you, a couple easy ones, and then we'll get into uh, the main conversation. But speaking of YouTube, and I appreciate the compliments that I'm uh, doing good, but I am new, and it was kind of weird uh, when I had this whole little thing the last couple of days and having to go into the hospital. How much love I got from everybody out there. People messaging, leaving comments on videos, stuff like that, and it was totally new to me. Like I was overwhelmed uh, by the number of people doing that. I just thought I was nobody really knows me or whatever. And so I was wondering when you started doing YouTube and started getting a little bit more subs and a bigger channel. Um, how do you handle that? Because I'm sure that, once you get bigger, it's not just all love. I haven't gotten any hate yet, uh, but I'm sure eventually if I get big enough, I will get some hate. So I was just wondering how did you handle uh, when you realize that there was all these people out there that like you and listen to you or whatever and care about you. You know what I mean?
How did I handle it?
Mm.
I handled it this way. What I did was I clipped streams. I clipped them and some people reached out to me and say, "Hey, so and so uh made reference to you on his channel." So I will go there, check it out. Because in the community, I have connections.
Mhm.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Sai told me to Sai told me to sing a little bit, so I'm doing that for her.
Oh, feel free. You got a good voice.
Blame it on the Sai.
Mhm.
No. So yeah. So I'll go ahead and clip it. You know what I mean? So then I will probably make a compilation or just show it on my channel to give them props. You know what I mean? And so I handled it in a good way. And I just thank you for giving me props. Thank you for loving me, appreciating me, or whatever the case is, right?
Uh-huh.
Even Hebrew. Hebrew. I don't know if you've seen the video. We'll get to this in a minute. I'll get to the video in a second. Um, so Hebrew, right?
Oh
Of
yeah.
Hebrew.
Uh-huh. I know Hebrew.
Okay. Okay. Did you know that they did videos where they were like had action figures and they had voices for the action figures and things like
Yeah,
that?
right. Yeah, the Star Trek figures or Knight Rider or whatever. Yeah, I think those are pretty funny.
Okay. Now, did did you realize any time like when you used to watch cartoons and you would see the cartoon commercials? This is actually answering your question in a roundabout way, of course. Um, I mean, obviously, but if you watch cartoons and you'll see the commercials for like action figures, and let's just say for instance, a Vanilla Ice is so popular that he has an action figure. You ever seen anything like that? Like a popular person action figure?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so in my head, I'll be thinking like, oh man, well, a popular person gets an action figure, that means that they crossed over, that they're, successful or whatnot, when they get an
Yeah.
action figure, you know. So someone reached out to me and was like, you need to go check out this Hebrew video. You know what I mean? They didn't tell me nothing. I went there and they made me into an action figure.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I don't
So I was
think I
like,
caught
okay,
that one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm gonna throw you the ball right now, and everybody will be able to catch it when I'm about to talk about that's in reference to the video I was referring to earlier. But yeah. So anyway, long story short, a lot of people did mention me or whatnot in their videos. And sometimes I will catch it, sometimes I won't. But I will clip it. And so now here's the video. If you go to my channel right now, you said you didn't catch it. Well, here's the mitt and the ball. Um, Under my video section, there's a video called the ME and the Art of Conversation. And so that's a compilation of you know, a lot of that. A lot of not a lot of the clips, but there's a handful of clips. And
Uh,
you will find, yeah, you will find the Hebrew, sorry about that, Hebrew, if you're listening.
mm,
The Hebrew videos on there, it starts off with it just as you know, a leak there. Yeah, but you'll see it there.
yeah,
So
under
there you
the
go.
you say under the Shorts tab?
No, under the videos tab.
Oh, videos.
The knickers are pretty well too. It's real, real organized, and the shorts there. Um, that area is pretty good too. Thank you for showing it on the promo to this here broadcast.
Oh, yeah, no problem. And so what's it titled? Uh, I'm not
It's
seeing
called
the
the
Hebrew.
ME. No, it's a part of a compilation, and the compilation is called the ME and the Art of Conversation.
Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay. You want me to share that?
Oh no, I was just telling you that you haven't caught the action figure one. I'm just telling you and everybody else that if you want to watch it, is on that video there.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, in that case, since I'm already
Along.
here, I'm gonna go ahead
Hmm.
and throw it in the chat. So anybody who wants to go watch that later, uh,
Yeah.
can do
I
so.
hope they have their I hope they have their baseball mitts on. He's gonna throw it in the chat. Catch it there. Um, for a limited time. It's some good stuff. Don't miss it.
Yep. All right. Well, that's yeah. I mean, that's a good way of doing. I never thought of that. Like, I'd have to. Yeah, I didn't. I actually probably didn't even have the software to clip anything. Clip a video until 6 months ago. So,
Mm.
uh, but I do now. So
Well,
yeah, I do that a lot often. Uh, sorry. Go
well,
ahead.
yeah, you're asking me. Yeah, no, 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 no. My apologies. You were asking me, just in reference to what you're saying now. You're asking me like, how did it feel that to get to a certain point in, streaming on YouTube, that when people know you and they enjoy what you have to offer, your content, how do you feel about it? And then I was just telling you that, people went as far as mentioning me. It's like one guy said, you know what? Propagate is right. You should treat people with respect and blah blah blah, right? So someone was listening to what I had to say on one of my streams, and then they mentioned it on their stream, and then someone that knows them, that knows me, said, "Hey, Propagate, you might want to check out that guy's channel. He mentioned you." So I
Mhm.
forgot the guy's name. I think a lot of people know him too, but um, and I think a lot of us that's been here for a while, like Sandy Diva, I mean, you be here for a while, like you say, you want to know because you're just starting off yourself, and I think you're gonna go far. To be honest, I think you're starting off just like you remind me of you remind me of me, Sonny. No, no. When I started in 2020, um, basically, there's someone else that I know that's starting off too. All y'all remind me of me when I started off because you so like I didn't know. I knew what I wanted from my channel, but I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know that how much of a benefit this could be and how much of an influence I was going to uh make on people by streaming. I did not know all of that, coming into it. But the truth is, man, just off back, you put a video out, just one video, 100,000 people watch that and take you as how you presented yourself. So however you want to be, I'll tell a person, decide on it all beforehand before you actually don't get into a rush to get views. You know what I mean? To upload a video real quick. If you're
Yeah.
trying to make this up, if you're trying to make this a brand, like what you're doing with this show, in my opinion, I would say, um, I think you're going in the right direction. But I'll tell anybody else, if you're just starting off, make sure that you think about exactly what you want out of this. Um, um, and what direction you want to go and how you want people to take it. And just know this though, um, you're going to be an influencer, so you can say one word and send someone's path in a negative direction or in a positive direction. You're going to be on the world stage. So imagine you up here, not you personally, but um, whoever's listening. Like if you have a channel and you're starting off, if you say a whole sentence, you know that could either get you a sentence or
Yeah.
so
That's
you got
very
to know
true.
this. Just in that summation with this, just know this too. You know, law enforcement have channels as well. Okay, so
Mm,
make sure you're doing something positive as well. I would say that, but just also know too, just from my perspective, treat people with respect. And they probably treat you back with respect. Don't expect good out of what you're doing if you're not giving it. You know,
I agree.
let the people know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, uh, be authentic, but you don't have to be rude. You don't have to play a role. You don't have to, okay, this person I watch does a lot of cursing and stuff like that. Let's say you don't really curse, but you think you're being an entertainer, so you're doing extra stuff. Just whatever it is, just be yourself, but just know that you're influencing people, what you're putting out. That's all I'm trying to say basically.
Mm, yeah. Well,
That's
I agree.
it.
That sounds like some good advice. And I appreciate that. And yeah, you're absolutely right. Once you get, enough ears, listening to you, then, what you say is going to influence people. And, I personally am, I just try to always stay positive, like I hate negativity. I hate drama. I hate all that stuff. So I try to avoid that. So I'm not going to, try to create something, that I do for fun, and bring any of those negative aspects into it. So, but speaking of Sandy Diva, you had mentioned um, the Mandela effects, uh, and that's where I was aware of you, the Mandela effect. This is another easy question, and we can just do like a minute or two on this one. But I, have wondered, how do you feel about your name being Mandela affected? Like, did it like bother you when like people start saying, "Oh, I remember propagate that light," or propagate the light? Uh, for me, it seemed like it would be like a sign that you made it. When you get Mandela, then you're one of the big dogs. But I was just wondering how you felt about that.
All right. Well, somebody tell John to cue the thunder background. I'm about to go there. I was very upset. I was so mad. How dare you say I'm propagate the lights? No, I'm just joking.
uh,
You
yeah,
know, it's like
yeah,
Kanye. It's like Kanye. I'm no longer Kanye. Call me Ye. Yay. Oh,
mhm.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I kind of remember when that whole thing when it happened. You were I don't know. I think you were Sandy was on your channel or you were on her channel or something, and she had mentioned that, and yeah, you didn't seem like super happy about it, but I just thought it's funny because I've thought about like these places that are Mandela affected, like should I stop like patronizing these places, like should I stop going to Chick-fil-A or stop wearing Skechers, uh because like is there a meaning behind it? And uh I came to determine that you know that you probably don't need to, except for the ones that troll us back, like Fruit of the Loom or the Skechers, and doing commercials about well, there is a T in Skechers and with Mr. T, stuff like that. Like I'll boycott them all day long. But otherwise, so that's all I was asking. I just was curious how it felt to uh, be Mandela. So
Well, that's a good question though. I never heard anyone ask anyone that, and you're asking me, and you called me a big dog, and I do appreciate that. But from my perspective, but I'm actually a tiger, by the way. No, but no. Yeah, I appreciate that though. But from my perspective, to be honest, from my perspective, I might be one of the small dogs compared to a channel that I perceive as bigger than mine. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Um, but it's all perspective. I'm still learning, but I do know a couple of things when it comes to tweaking the channel or dealing with an audience, and this whole thing running the channel. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But that's a good question, man. Thank you for asking that. Um, from my perspective, to be honest, I am this, right? My name, this, I am this. So from my perspective, I'm more like, y'all are playing with me. You know what I mean? Type of thing. But
yeah,
then when there's more than one person, even usernames that I'm not familiar with on other streams are like, yo, you used to be the light. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, now I'm in the twilight zone. That's the feeling I'm getting. Like, what's really going on here, right?
yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something, right? I clipped. Are you familiar with Scare Performance show?
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's where I first heard you, uh,
Oh yeah, that's
when
right.
he was
That's
doing the
right. You did.
call-ins. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. My bad. That's yeah. Okay, you did say that. My bad. Um, yeah. So I clipped. I clipped one of the shows. Now this is the really weird thing to me. It's not the fact that 100,000 people were reaching out to me. I'm not that much of a big dog, but saying that it would seem like it, right? There's a lot of people telling me you used to be the light, you know, and I'm like,
Uh,
okay, now things are getting, bring out the 911 because it's getting a little serious right now, right? So something else tripped me out, and I don't know if you know about this one. I did speak about it before, but I clipped the show that I was on, Scare Performance. I was calling in about Costco, and it was a night. It was nighttime. It was nighttime on my end, Uh, a nice cool night. I was enjoying the atmosphere. I was outside. I was on the phone talking to him. I remember I'm saying this all for a purpose. I was on the phone with him talking. I remember all of this, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I'm like, let me call in because he has an option for me people to call in. Let me see what he thinks about this Costco. Yo, I'm calling in to tell you that it has a T now. That's my whole agenda. So I called in, and long story short, I tell him about that. So I clip the show so I can keep it for my records. I go back to it months and months later. I listen to it, just listen back at it because it was a good show, and I'm hearing myself talk, saying the things that I called in for, and then booyaka. I'm hearing myself talk. I'm hearing my voice, me talk, and I'm saying things that I never said when I called in. I'm actually saying the opposite of what I called in for. So in the Mandela effect, right? You know how sometimes two both versions of the same thing is in, like, let's say a newspaper, a word in a newspaper, right? Is two different ways in the same article or something like that.
Hmm.
You, you familiar with that?
Yeah.
You
Oh, yeah.
familiar
Like,
with?
yeah, in the
Mhm.
Mandela, yeah, they'll spell it the old way and the new way in the same uh paragraph or whatever, or same ad.
Long story short, so I won't be too long with it. That's how it was in that clip that I took. It was two different versions of me talking, saying two different things. Like I called in and said, "Hey man, are you familiar with Costco?" No. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Because we started talking about it. You started talking about it anyway. Um. So I was happy to be able to call in and ask somebody about it. And then in the same clip, I'm also saying Costco doesn't look right without the T. Like, and I'm talking about how I feel about that. Is a whole bunch of stuff that I never said. So listening back at my voice talking like I am now, and I'm hearing it the way that you're hearing me. Like you don't know what I'm going to say next, right? And you're just listening to the tone of my voice talking,
Right.
right? That's how I was at that very moment listening to myself. I'm hearing myself talk and say things that I never said, that I don't even know what I'm going to say next, but I'm saying things I never said. It's like I'm
Wow,
listening to a whole different person.
that is wild. Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
and
know
check this
that.
out.
Mm.
And check on top of that, just to put the cherry on top. I brought that up to I brought that up to scare a performance one time. And then, behind the scenes, I spoke to him, and he said that I called in as Propagate the Light, and I thought he was joking. you know, I
Oh,
thought he
so
was
yeah,
joking.
so he caught it first.
That's what he proclaims, and I
Mm.
thought he was joking. But it's weird that I'm saying it's like I'm listening to a different version of myself on the same clip. It just maybe he's telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't see why you would make it up. Uh, I think I even heard that because he seemed pretty sincere. As I remember being Propagate the Light. Uh, but I remember something else in that conversation also, from what you had clipped, was um, you were talking about something that happened in some year, and um, you said the wrong year. It was like totally like it was like 10 years off or something. And he just agreed. And he knew what you meant. Like, and I knew what you meant when I heard you say it. And then I thought about it for a second. I'm like, oh, it couldn't have been 2020 because that would have just, you know what I mean? Uh, but no, but nobody caught it. And so I thought that was interesting too. Um, that there might have been some sort of something fishy going on there.
Yeah, and nobody has a fishing pole. Well, well, you know what I mean. Uh, because it's like I know we're all
Uh,
men, right? So,
yeah, right.
no, no, no. Uh, but it's like, who's the worm in this situation, right? It's like, it's like you want to be big worm, sort of say, like on Friday, you want to be the one in charge and be the boss of your life. But how can you do that when all these weird things are happening like this? She's like, okay, now I'm open to what's going on, the ME and all that kind of stuff, right? And this whole thing of hearing myself talk that say things I never said, and then people saying, "Yo, used to be the light." I thought y'all was joking until I actually heard myself too. But after a while, after like the 20th person told me, then I started to like, okay. And then after that, I heard myself talk and say things I never said. I'm
Hmm.
trying to like go through survival mode and be the boss of my life and try to like make my own money and just do the things you try to do throughout your life and try to stay in control. But it's like you start to think sometimes, right, with the ME, like I heard a lot of people say the same thing, like, am I going crazy? Like,
Mm.
and some people are like, I want my old reality back, just so they could feel sane, right? But it's like, I thought the old reality was the worst of the worst anyway.
Yeah.
Like, aren't we all like, you want to go back to, at least that high strangeness happens, I guess. Is that such a bad thing? I guess I don't know. At least you're open, you're spiritually awakened a little bit, I guess. They're just getting scared. But I do understand some people say like their husband is different. They used to didn't eat peanut butter, but now they talk about, I never said I don't like peanut butter, stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's true or not. I
Yeah.
haven't heard
Those.
a lot of that. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
Those would drive me nuts. Like if if I woke up like those big ones. Like if I woke up and my wife, yeah, start was eating something that for the last 10 years she had would throw up if she got near or something, or yeah, some the people changes, the personal changes. uh Thankfully I don't think I've had any of those. Knock on wood. I mean, I possibly uh could have here and there, but nothing like super serious, like woke up and I didn't have a kid anymore, or I was married to somebody different. But those are the crazy ones that nobody really talks about. But I think we have someone in the chat actually, Golden Sai, that was planning on talking about some of those type of things and those MEs and those personal changes on her channel. So I'm looking forward to hearing that, and, when it gets going.
Yeah, and hopefully she'll reach out to me. Now that we can all. I think it's a beautiful community, and if we all gung ho, you know what I mean, to work
Mm.
together or whatever, I think everything would be pretty cool. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I think you get the higher minds together, higher learning, people like psychics, you know, near-death experiencers, out of body, like, let's talk, let's get together, just even help each other out. That's
yeah,
yeah. So I hear you.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's what it's really about, is just helping each other out, and having fun doing it. I love doing it. So, but yeah, speaking of that sort of stuff, you want to hop into uh, our first topic? Like anything like you particularly want to talk about first, that uh, that you're promoting,
hit
or
me,
that you make your channel. You know what I mean?
hit me with your best shot.
Yeah.
All right, little dry at the end there. But what I was trying to say is, hit me with your best shot. Nothing in particular. Um, I believe you said you're gonna just throw them at me, right? So it's all good. I got the mitts on. I got the
Yeah.
mitts. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah, whatever you throw at me.
So you had mentioned to me, when we were getting ready for the show here, um, something called layers of awareness, and like I can kind of glean an idea of what that is just based on what it says. But um, can you explain that to us a little bit? Like I'm curious, what that means on like a on the next level, on a higher level than just the surface.
Sorry about that.
Mm.
Sorry to press the mute button. You said that can okay, just to be honest, I'm confused. Can you condense the question? I kind of missed some of it. Sorry about that. You said the
Oh, it's like,
higher learning
well, yeah, no,
learning
I
on the
mean,
higher purpose.
well, yeah, the layers of awareness. Like I can kind of get an idea what layers of awareness is just by you know
Hmm.
the phrase, but on a higher level of um, spirituality or stuff like that. Like is there more to it? Is it vibrations or what are the layers of awareness that like, or how do you get from one layer to another to be more aware?
All right, this is what I think. All I could go off of it. This is my response. It's going to be not long-winded, but this is actually my response for real, for real. I'm not trying to entertain. Honestly, to have the the answer, like the one all be all, I can't say. I'm still learning myself. All I can say to people is that, uh, you know, what I went through in my experience that brought me to where I'm at now, as far as spiritual awakening, or learning more about esoteric, through experience. But I went through a lot, starting as a teenager. Actually, to be honest, um, even earlier than that, I could recall moments of knowing the future, but before it happens, as a kid, and
Hmm.
just some other things happen. Other things happen. You know what I mean? And then fast forward, I'm a teenager. I'm gonna just like swing through the pages a little bit, so I could just be expedite this a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Swing. So I'm a teenager. I'm on the phone talking to female. I know their environment. This is a particular female I was talking to. The next thing you know, I know what's in her environment, and just things like this is happening. And then she validates everything, and then she tells me to stop because I'm scaring her. And then I'm thinking in my head, like, is she just saying that just to make me think that I think that I'm doing what I'm doing, but I know that I'm doing what I'm doing is for real. But is she just playing with me? Like, because although I'm able to do this at the time as a teenager, I- it still was going over my head, although I was doing it. Like, if someone would give me a response, like, I'm thinking to myself, like, oh, you're just saying that, but I know what I'm feeling and getting. So, long story short, here I am now, couple of ages older, and I'm experiencing more things. Um, I'm looking back and recalling um, moments of being out of my body as a teenager, going through sleep paralysis, um, inanimate objects becoming animated, even when I was a kid. Uh, so it's a pattern there, right?
Yeah.
So this is my life. You know what I mean? This is what's been going on, and so I'm still learning, and I'm still there's still things that's been going on. They're just like, okay, really, a light just opens up in my bedroom when I'm sleeping, and someone is like um putting their hand on me or something like that. Like it's for real, for real. It's like it's not like my imagination. It's like it's for real. And okay, I'm looking at this through my third eye vision. Okay, all right. That's why
Mm.
I know that my eyes are closed. That's why I know my eyes are closed, but I can still see what's going on. That's okay. So I'm learning, I'm learning, like at least from my perspective, this is what I'm getting from it. I'm learning that okay, it's making sense to me because I'm like even asking around, like people that are actually intuitive. That's why I have these conversations with people on my channel. So I could learn. So I'm speaking to people and they're like, "Oh, you were looking at it through your third eye." So I'm like, "Okay, that resonates. Maybe I was, makes
Yeah.
sense." So long story short, how
Yeah.
does it feel? Well, my name is not D'Angelo here, but it's a learning process and it's scary sometimes because I know things that I know that some people don't know about reality. And but there's also beauty beyond belief in my opinion as far as what I've gotten from um, you know, the light, sort of say, the good side of things, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But I know both exist, at least from my perspective and experience. I could be wrong. It could be all an illusionary, like a dream, and this is all just coming from um, being inundated by television most of my life, this and that, all these ideas being embedded into my thoughts, which recreates it into my reality, and that's it. It's just like a loop, a circle, and it's been. I went through some really stressful moments as a teenager, but I seem to have broken through at least some of the wall that was, or the barriers that was keeping me in a loop-de-loop, feeling like I'm moving forward, but I'm not really moving at all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I move forward a little bit more, and yeah,
Yeah. Well, it sounds
I'll
like,
stop.
mm,
Yeah, go ahead. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
I
I'll
would say
stop
it's,
there. I think.
yeah, that's all good. Yeah, it sounds like you've been, aware of the fact that you can, that you have, this empath ability for quite a while. Like, you said when you were younger, even as a kid, you would know things, and so it's surprising that, you know, I'm not sure how old you are, but I'd say probably at least 25, 30 years later, you're still, figuring it out. Um, so that's interesting. But but yeah.
Yeah.
Mm, so okay. So here I got another one for you. I know you like to talk about the consciousness and what that is, and I've always kind of wondered, for wanted to ask somebody who is into that, like, where do you think consciousness starts in a being, like, something that's alive, like, like plants, we don't assume to have consciousness, but people do, and dogs do, what I mean, like, what is it that you think is the um that final factor that makes a living thing have consciousness?
Um. Hmm. Uh. The being that we call God.
Hmm.
The breath of life. Didn't it say? I don't know how much you know about the Bible. I'm not religious either. I don't know the Bible inside and out. But didn't it say something like that in there about the breath of God is the breath of life?
um yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds familiar. I'm not sure if that's, yeah, exactly how it was worded, but yeah, I think that was the kind of the meaning. Because I think that isn't that what he breathed, he took a breath into Adam to give him life, to give him life.
Yeah, that's breath. Yeah, exactly, exactly. There it is, right there. I didn't think about that. But just not to go off your question, I also wonder, about Adam and all that too. But
Mhm. Yeah.
long story short, because of, like, when they were here, that's all I heard about. But what about other parts of the earth? Were there other people? Were there other people on other parts of the earth at that moment too, or what? You know,
Well,
Like
yeah. Well, I
when
mean,
Adam.
yeah. Well, I just learned, yeah, like a month or two ago, uh, Splatter was saying something about how there before he created Adam, like a chapter before that he it said something about him, creating people and putting them on the earth or whatever. And like I never remembered that. Like I went to Christian school, my whole life, from kindergarten through 12th grade, and never learned that there was people before Adam. Like I always assumed that Adam was the first man. Uh, so yeah, but I mean, it said right in the Bible, that there was people on the earth, like a chapter before uh, the creation of man. So yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
Okay. Were they were they people, or what do you call them? When they say the caveman. So who was
Oh.
first, Adam or the caveman? You know.
um, yeah, I think they were actually just referred to as people. Uh, so yeah, I don't know where the cavemen come into that one.
Yeah, but if they look like apes or whatever, or
Yeah, right. The
like
Neanderthals.
yeah, that's what yeah, thank you,
Yeah,
Neanderthals. Yeah, how can you refer to them as people? Well, I mean, I guess some people look like that, but I mean, we all don't look like that, is what I'm saying, and we consider
right.
ourselves people. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I don't, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if those people that were in that they were talking about in the Bible uh, were Neanderthals. I think they were maybe just the regular, uh, normal people like like Adam and Eve, and uh, but I don't know. I mean, obviously, I wasn't there, but I would just guess from the context of reading those verses recently. So mm,
Yeah. So in regards to your question, I'm still learning what's what. I do know God exists from my perspective, and I'm going to assume. Did I say assume? I'm going to assume
mm,
that the consciousness of everything, everything that has consciousness, is because of God. I just don't know anything else. That's just my I guess you basic assumption for now.
yeah,
Because I had an experience where God was everything around me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of going off of that a little bit. Um, I also had an experience where I became one with everything around me, and I was at Walmart or was at Target, one of the two. But I was with somebody one at the time, and like at that moment, and I even told them I feel like, because I said, I could do what I could do, right? Like I said earlier, I know things before they happen sometimes. So I told this person what was about to happen before it happened. I said, I know that I'm going to be connected with everything around me. Like, ultimately, that was new to me, but I just knew that that was going to happen. I wasn't scared. I just went with it. I just had to tell that person. I didn't think nothing of it as we're walking towards the store. And when we got in, snap, everything around me, the store, everything. I felt everything inside of me. Like I felt everything. And then some other things happened. I'm not going to get into. I don't want to be too long-winded. Some other things happened during that moment inside the store. But for one, someone came in with the dog, and I knew what the dog was feeling. I knew the dog was tired. Excuse me, tired. Just stuff like that. Like I knew. And then one guy walked into the aisle that I was in with the person I went with, and they just walked into the aisle singing gospel songs, like God something, God this and God that. Like it was like the Twilight Zone.
huh,
It was like well, I'm happy everything was positive. I'm happy it was a positive vibe, that to the point where it was more gospel than evil. It was no evil. It was all like, it was just like, I don't know. I can't explain it, but it was coming from a good place is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so that happened to me twice in my life. So I'm just going to assume that I'm kind of getting a whiff of how it feels to be everything at once, and I'm going to assume that since people are saying that, since people, I think you got something going on in your background there.
Oh,
Are
sorry.
you?
I think my chair's squeaking a little bit.
Oh,
Mm.
oh, okay. Your chair is talking to me. Like, keep going, propagate, keep going.
Or you never know. It could be. We've caught some whispers on streams before from streaming in my basement because I think there might be a spirit here or something that like on Sandy's show we've caught a uh, what do they call it or EVPs, sounds and stuff that nobody's hearing. So it could be that too. So I apologize for that. I'll just ask them to be quiet for a minute.
That's funny. um, but yeah, just the long and end of it here is that I'm just going to assume through experience. I'm giving you experience and perspective. Eh, maybe I'm not right. Maybe it's just entertainment. You know what I mean? But from my perspective, that's what happened, and so I'm just going to assume from that. Maybe I was about to say, like, I've also heard that, like, when you're born, you come down from heaven or whatnot, a higher realm or whatever, or like you make a deal. I mean, you make a map out of who will be your parents and things. You heard of that, right? Like
Uh huh.
you, yeah, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know about that for sure. Yeah, I don't know about all that for sure, but I've heard people talk about that. And then I've also heard that the spirit comes down from, I guess, wherever it comes from, the fifth realm, or I don't know, seventh heaven, and then it goes into the baby from there, like the womb. Maybe at a certain month that the baby has been developed. I don't know, and it goes through the third eye. I don't understand all of that. It sounds cute, you know what I mean? I don't understand it, but I've been hearing people talk about that. So with that said, too, is that okay? Where is that? What is that that's going into the body? Is us, right? It's like who we are. What is that essence? Is that an essence? What is that? Like when you feel something, what is the texture of that? That's not what I'm looking for, the word, but is that the same as God? You know what I mean? The consistency of what we really are, if that makes any sense. Like we could feel our skin, right?
Yeah.
But can you really feel who you really are?
Mm. Yeah. I mean, yeah. No. I mean, a good question because I mean, I think feeling who you really are is more something in your brain or in your mind or in your heart or soul or whatever, as opposed to when I touch my arm, I don't think of, oh, that's me. I think of me as the person inside this this body. uh you know what I mean? So that's kind of how I look at it.
Okay. Where do you gain your perception from?
Yeah, I don't know. uh
I mean,
that's
let me rephrase that. I'm sorry about that. My bad. Where do you gain that perspective from? You said that you know that you're in your body. How do you know?
well, because I mean there's some form of energy that's making my body go and move around and you know be self-aware. And it's if there was no energy, this body, the body would just be, wouldn't move. So the energy is what's in control. And I think that's what kind of, I think that kind of what your soul is, or what your mind is it's energy. And it's transformed into your body or housed in your body. uh and it's very complex, obviously, because we have so many involuntary stuff, like breathing and stuff that we do that we don't have to think about doing. We just do it naturally. And so I mean, that's kind of what gives me the idea that, the energy is in control, which is, ultimately your soul or your spirit.
Yeah, but the whole trip is this, and it's not even fall yet. Get it? Um, Sorry about that. The whole trip is this, to me anyway. It's like um kind of bound by these titles, right? It's like spirit. You said spirit, and you said the mind, and the soul. It's like, what is it really? Like, these are English words that we have here. Like, I would assume these are English words, right? And of course, if it's Spanish or something like that, they'll probably be saying the same thing, but in a different way. But is it really that? Is that our description of what it is? Did we come up with that word to try to describe what it is, or what is it that we're really dealing with here? Is the
Yeah. Well,
question.
yeah, I think words are just words. You know what I mean? Like everything had to come up with. I always kind of wondered about that. How words only have meaning because we've given them that meaning, and it's just been passed down. But we could have grew up in a reality where banana meant orange, or vice versa. Something. They're just words. So I don't really put that much emphasis. So whether it's a spirit or your mind or your soul, uh, whatever you call it, it's all the same thing to me that I'm thinking. That you know what I mean. I'm just using the words that have already been established in society. Uh, so yeah, what I mean. I don't put that much meaning on what the actual word is. Because it could be anything. Because what makes a cuss word a cuss word? Who's to say that the F word is a bad word, and poop isn't a bad word, or you know what I mean? They're just words. So
Okay. Well, I okay. So we could say, this is just my opinion. I would say we could say that they're just words, right? But if you say it in front of law enforcement and you call them an F word, you and they say, okay, well, you're making a threat or whatever the case is that they say. Um, what was that?
oh, that was my puppy. Sorry about that.
Oh, your puppy.
Yeah, he likes to join the chat sometimes.
Oh, okay. Your puppy can speak English, huh? Sounds like an English word there.
Oh,
Oi.
he was just singing.
Oh, nice.
Mhm.
Wow. Coming out with any singles soon, or albums, or what?
No, we're staying amateur for a little while.
Okay. Any American Idol visits in the future, maybe, or
No, none
hey,
of that.
imagine him in front of the judges, like when Simon was there. Simon Says, and the dog is just sitting up there. Oi.
Oh yeah, that would be great. Hope he's not as stage fright as I had, as me. Uh, but yeah, he seems a little bolder than I am. But
You
but hey,
you have a little sparkly tutu on. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
mm, yeah, real quick, I just wanted to say we got a few more new people in the chat. We got uh, Heron Song jumped in, and the Mind is here, and Joe King explores the realm is here. So welcome everybody. Thanks for stopping in and listening to what we got. So what were we saying? You're saying if you got pulled over by the cops and you called him the F word, and you took it, as a threat or something.
Yeah. What do you think it will happen? Or most likely happen?
Well, right. I mean, he probably would get his feelings hurt and take it out on you. But it's still the fact that he would he would get mad about it because that word means something in society. Whereas, it's only because everybody's given it that definition. And you know what I mean? Like, I guess maybe I'm not explaining myself too good, but I mean, words definitely have meanings, but it's only because society has given it that meaning, uh, and everybody's accepted it as that. And so you just gotta play by those rules because those are the rules that have been established.
There you go. It's the means of communication. It's also the building blocks to life, in my opinion. Words, right? Spellbound. We're casting spells, casting words, wordcraft, whatever people call it. You know what I mean? It's just like I agree with what you said, but at the same time too, and you do, we're basically um mirroring each other. What I'm about to say, it's just like this is my version of saying what you're saying anyway. But yeah, I agree with you. And but behind the words is intention. So if you're saying blank you to someone, that's intention. Even if they do some type of sign language with their finger, it's intention. It's just like you're intending to hurt my feelings by putting up your finger at me. But from my perspective, is this? It's gonna sound a little raunchy, but I'm just gonna say like, um, from my perspective, wh- what people say sometimes when they put that finger up, it's like you're a man putting your finger up to me, and I'm a man. That just doesn't look right from your perspective. I mean, from you know, I look at it like that. Like
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
put a. It's like you're putting that on yourself. You're telling me that I'm pretty sure if I asked him, is he gay, he'll probably say no.
yeah, right.
So it doesn't offend me that you're going to do. You're insisting that you're going to do a gay act on another man. That's your thing. I'm not against gay people or nothing like that, but I'm just saying like this is the intention that this hurts your feelings because I'm saying that you're the opposite sex or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
got you.
I
Yeah, no,
already
yeah.
I I already know that I'm a man. Like, why would I be offended? Like,
Mhm.
you're putting up your finger. Like, if an alien came down here and just sees them, they'd be like, what does that even mean? Like, you just put up your finger. But I would just go ahead and just not even put up a finger or nothing like that. Just put your hand in your pocket, whatever, and just keep moving straight. That way, you won't have a stupid memory in your head from what happened 10, 3, 30. Oh, that time when, you know, I had that bad vibe and blah, 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 blah. Like, for instance, right? I'm driving one time, right? And I'm trying to get home, so I'm going a little fast, but when I'm driving, I'm safe, right? So I'm getting up to what do you call it, an intersection where
Uh-huh.
a crosswalk. So, but way before I get to it, I start slowing down. I slow down, and then I stop way before the line, and then there was a guy right there. He decides to turn to me and start yelling at me. Blah, 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 have you, just saying all these curse words as if it's just like from my perspective, I tricked the Matrix because if I didn't slow down, he would be right there waiting to do all of that. But I didn't give him a reason, but he still played the role as the person yelling at me for going fast. Okay, I just kept going. I didn't say
Mm,
get mad, nothing. And sometimes I forget about that. But when you hold on to that stuff, it just kind of brings you down when you think about it. Like, oh, that time when you know what I mean? Like I was
yeah,
having an argument with someone. You could just could ignore some stuff sometimes too, and then don't fall for the don't fall for the tricks of bringing you down. Even if it's someone that's on the stream, in my opinion, yo, I'm going to go to so and so's channel. So they're live right now, right? You go there, and then for some reason there's like a bad vibe. I'll just pull away from it because I'm not going to let it trick me into it because that's a person that I'm familiar with. If that person's not, at least where I'm at, trying to be on the high vibration, then I can't take too much of this heavy stuff, even if I know the person. I still respect them, but they're on their path. I'm on mine.
yeah,
What's up,
yeah, right.
Asai? So,
Mm,
do you think long-term memory is stored in the soul? Who's that question to? Me?
I'm not sure. I'm guessing either of us. But if you got an answer, go for it.
Okay, so I was saying earlier that some people think that the soul is in the body, and outside of the body. That's what she said earlier, but I was trying to understand that. Oh, some people think the soul is inside the body, and some people think it is outside of the body, attached to the body. I didn't understand that. Are you saying that it's attached to the body? Um, the question on the panel: long-term memory stored in the soul. Well, okay, I don't know, but I've heard that the soul is outside of the body. It's blah, blah. The soul is this. Okay, let me get this right. This is what I've heard. Like the soul and the spirit is two different things, sort of say, and the soul is like a compilation of all of your memories and things like that. So if that's the case, then I guess long-term memory is stored in the soul. And some would say that the soul is also part uh, is a compilation of all the people you used to be, or something like that, or so that would be considered the long-term memory. I guess your past lives, I guess, is part of the soul. Oh, so I'm
Right.
confused about that.
But yeah, most people don't
Yeah.
remember their past lives. So if it was a soul that was going through and had all these different had these different lives, when you get to the new life, they don't remember. So in that case, you would think that the long term memory is not stored in the soul, unless it's there and it's just locked away and you just can't access it. Uh, because I have heard of people, being able to access memories uh, from past lives, but uh, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. That's above my pay grade. But good question.
Oh, we actually get paid for this? How much you getting paid? How much you getting paid for this?
I'm getting paid in having fun and
Ener-
uh, meeting, talking to good people.
Yep, that energetic transfer. You know, love it.
Yeah, I agree, Joe King. Mr. Super is smart. Mm, he's a super smart guy.
The Yeah, he says the brain is a processor server. Let me go back to that. Do you see it there? The
Survival
brain is a.
processor.
Mm, mm-hmm, mm. What about the body?
I don't know. He also said the brains are transceivers and real time processors in today's short
Uh,
term memory.
yeah, okay, you can look
Which,
at it like
yeah, I
that. Yeah.
totally agree with that. They're definitely real time processors, and uh, I guess I'm not 100% on what a transceiver. Like I've heard the term, but not exactly what 100% positive on what a transceiver does. Do you know?
A transceiver sends out the signal. I think a receiver
Oh,
receives it. I
oh, okay.
believe, if I'm correct. I'm not sure if I'm correct. I think Sai knows the answer to that. She's going to respond. Watch. I could feel it. Aether, air in there. Mr. Sidewinder, Super Sidewinder says, "What is that? Ether, or is it
Ether, yeah,
aether?"
yeah. I think it's ether, but it's just spelled that way.
See, I told you. Golden Sai is responding to that.
Mm,
Oh, I hear you too. Yep, Josh. It receives the information and transfers it where it needs to go. She
okay.
says.
So yeah, that sounds exactly like what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
But with it.
transmitter is what you were thinking. The transmitter and
Uh-oh.
receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So
But that's mhm.
I was gonna say, speaking of ether, I hear ether, that term thrown around a lot, and you know I'm not the smartest person in the world, but I still don't really fully understand. Like, do you have a better understanding of what ether is than me? You could like explain a little bit, or uh, someone in the chat, like what is the ether?
Well, the first time I ever heard that word was yeah, you you guessed it, Sai. I could hear what you're thinking. You know what I'm about to say. It ends with an S. The first time I heard ether, and I'm going to say it, yes, because it's the truth. The first time I heard that word ether is that Nas song, Nas.
Hmm.
You know that Nas?
Yeah,
And
I know
I just
Nas.
assumed that you love Nas?
I said I know Nas. I know of Nas. Yeah,
Oh, you know him. Oh, okay.
I
Can
know
you hook
of
me up
him.
with Oh, okay. You know of him from the streets, huh? Yeah, okay, cool. From the streets, right? From the
Yeah,
hard streets of Boston. Of,
hard streets
uh-huh.
of Columbus, Ohio. No, yeah, I,
Yeah, so I always assumed I just assumed and then I just started resonating what I assumed, but I had to keep it real with myself and be like, I don't think that's the answer, but I'm not sure. And I never really researched it. But I used to think that just assume that it meant energy. You know what I'm saying?
hmm.
Um, and maybe I don't know, energy in outer space. Maybe I don't know. I sound like Captain Kirk. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right.
Yeah.
Um,
That's funny. So yeah, I
all right.
kind of
We'll
had
decide.
I kind of had
Hmm.
that same thought, was, like it's just the energy surrounding, the earth, uh that just, yeah, it basically, yeah, just everything out in the ether. Because I think that's where the first time I ever heard that term is like, when you say something, you can't take it back. Once you say it, it's out there in the ether, and it just, just means that it's out there. It's been said. It's something that exists now, and uh, you may never see it again or hear it again or whatever, but it's out there. It's in the ether. So
Yeah, that's how I took it too. Because I just assumed that that's what it meant. That's why I said out there, ether, out there. I was like, oh, energy, outer space. What is
right.
what is Psy talk? Yeah, that's nice. We're on the same. Well, what is Psy talking about there?
I don't know. So if the soul holds long-term memories and the brain holds short-term memories, and they can share them or not depending on the memory, or they can share them or not depending on the memory, do you think the soul is what makes that decision? I don't know. She's throwing some hard ones at us.
Do you think the soul is what makes that decision? Hmm. Of what can be active when?
Or yeah, if it could be in short, like, or maybe what, when it switches from short-term memory to long-term memory, uh, because it says that the brain holds short-term memories and they can share them or not depending on the memory. So she's saying that there's some memories that can be shared between the short term and the long term. And so if that's the case with those memories, is it the soul that makes the decision whether it becomes long term or short term? I mean, that's kind of the way I'm interpreting the question.
Nice, nice. And the way I'm interpreting her question is, go on ahead, Sai. Give us the answer because I wanna know what you're talking about there because it's interesting. I'm assuming that you have the answer there, Sai. That's what I'm saying. Because because to be honest with you, for me to say that, oh, this is, let me see. Okay, so do you think so? this is a good question because she's given the option for us to even just think on it. It's just like what we think. It's not like what we know. You know what I'm saying? So what we
Yeah.
think, you know, um, I I would assume that. Okay, what is the oversoul? Is that the same thing as the soul? So what is
Um,
that? Like it's like, is
I
that
don't
a
think I've
god?
heard that. What? Oh, you said oversoul? Oh, like OVER?
Yeah, I think it's called oversoul.
Huh.
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard it. I've heard of that.
not
Mm-hmm,
heard that term.
mm-hmm. Maybe side know the answer to that, but I would say I don't know because from what I've heard, like I said earlier, give you a little deja vu here. S- I've heard people say that spirit and soul are two separate things. So if soul holds everything, accumulation of like, let's say, all your past lives or whatever like that, or whatever have you, um, maybe the soul is the higher self. I don't know. I really don't know. Um, and if it's all you, like, okay, if we're saying spirit and soul, we're saying that, I guess I'm assuming that we're saying that it's the same being, it's the same person, sort of say. It's the same being, right? It's not two different beings the same.
Hmm.
So i- if they're both, in my opinion, both being operating a body, sort of say, or the lifetime of a person, then I will assume that they all have purposes to help that body, uh, uh, you know, it, not body, uh, it all works in tandem because it's all the same being, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But I don't know I don't know what does what, but maybe the soul needs to turn this on at this moment in time, or needs to put you know, the soul knows more about what's going to probably happen in the future. So maybe it is the higher self, you know, uh, and it makes things happen for you that's beyond your. For instance, I was walking towards a crosswalk at nighttime, and then as I'm walking, and I spoke about this before, as I was walking, this voice I just heard this voice in my head, honestly, just out of nowhere. And the voice said, guess what the voice said?
What? I I don't know.
That's exactly what it said. How did you know that?
It said I don't know. Because maybe I'm got some intuition, or I can know things. I don't know. I would like to. That would be fun, but yeah, just a guess, or not even a guess, but
Uh, yeah, it's not a guess. Tell everybody the truth. You have a device that you were using to speak into my head to control me. Yeah, see,
oh,
I know.
no, no, don't say that. I don't work for the government. That's the government's job. They got that on lockdown.
Oh, right, right. But I don't think it was that though. But I heard a voice tell me something. Okay, and then it said, as I was about to cross the crosswalk, it said, "I'm not going to cross." I just heard the voice out of nowhere. I didn't even get a chance to process what was going on. But as I'm still walking, and I'm like, wait a minute, that just, as I'm still walking towards the crosswalk, my body. This is the part where I'm saying, like, maybe the soul can control things when it's ready because it knows what's going to happen later. Maybe it's the higher self because I heard the voice in my head said, "Wow, is that the dog singing again?" It sounded like he
Oh,
had an
sorry.
auto
Yeah,
tone.
no, that was somebody sent me a text. Sorry, I thought I turned my sound off on my phone.
Okay, I thought your dog had auto tone on this time around.
No. Yeah, he had some really robot-y auto tone or auto tune.
Yeah, picture him on American Idol with that one. like you're trying to be Roger. I think Simon's gonna zap you. You're gonna like, if you get what I'm saying, Roger Zap. It's a Roger Troutman from the group Zap. He used to use the auto tone. But anyhow, yeah, man. Can you walk me back to where I was at? Sorry.
um, where we were talking, we were talking about crossing the street, and the soul, kind of knows, and can give you the heads up on things.
Oh yeah, yeah. So previously on Propagate This Light, so I heard the voice, and then the voice said, "I'm not going to cross." Now I'm going to assume it's the higher self. It took me maybe, to be honest, maybe a couple of years just to figure this out. The key word is I'm, I'm. I've always said to myself, I heard this voice in my head saying I'm not going to cross. I just didn't make sense of, wait a minute, that's the key word, I'm. That's why I said maybe it's the higher self. And I believe that the higher self is another version of yourself. But um, yeah, so I heard this voice. And not only did I hear the voice, this is the part where I say that maybe the soul or higher self, maybe, I don't know, is both the same. They can control certain things regarding maybe your brain or whatever. But as I'm walking towards a crosswalk, my body just automatically stopped. It just like, I didn't stop it, it just stopped. So I'm walking and now I'm standing straight up at the crosswalk as I'm like right on the edge. And at that very moment, a truck just went right by and ran the light. I would have been, you know,
Yeah, wow. And it was completely involuntary. You just stopped, like, you're for some reason you didn't see it coming or nothing. You didn't. It was just you didn't. Something stopped you.
exactly. The whole thing is too, I forgot to, I'm happy you said that. I forgot to mention that it was late. It was late at night and there was no traffic. So there was no cars coming. It was a clear street and I was just about to cross it. And then I just out of nowhere, this truck just like went right by me, just out of nowhere.
Wow,
So I don't know.
that's even weirder.
Yeah, yeah. And around this time, I haven't even gotten into like streaming on my channel, but later down the line, we're talking about timelines and things appearing out of nowhere and all this kind of stuff like that. I don't know what that was because I didn't see any cars come in at all, but maybe I just wasn't paying attention. I don't know. I don't know, but it, it was just like it came out of nowhere. It was just like, okay, so there was like a city receptacle um kind of blocking the street view a little bit. So so it just appeared from behind there and went straight across, went right by me. So I don't, maybe it appeared out of I don't know. Maybe just appeared out of space and time.
Yeah, it could have come from another dimension. Uh, you know what I mean? Like, I've seen videos like that where all of a sudden, just somebody just standing on the sidewalk filming a bunch of people walking around the street or whatever, and then all of a sudden a guy walks out from behind a telephone pole and full stride, but you didn't see him go past the telephone, but he just comes out the other side. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, like uh, kind of glitch in the matrix type of thing. Uh, and those are always fun. Uh, but yeah, not if you're about to step into the street and a speeding truck's going by. Uh,
Yeah, I'm happy we're on the same visual of that because that's what I was thinking. I've seen those videos too. But the key word, what you said was the guy comes around and it kind of like what I said to you about the city receptacle probably reminded you of that, which it actually reminded me of the whole thing. Like after that happened, that's when I started to talk more online, get to know people, blah blah blah. The next thing you know, I start seeing those videos that you just mentioned, and I'm like, okay, well, how come? And then I had a lucid dream. So I became lucid in one of my dreams, you know, and I wanted someone to walk into the room. Like I wanted an Asian woman to walk into the room. I don't know why I thought that. I was in the kitchen of a house, right? I became lucid. I'm like, whoa, I am lucid. I could do anything I want. So I said, well, I don't know why I thought that, but she came around the corner. So like, okay, so there's a city receptacle there. The truck just appears from it. And then you say that the guy, those clips that we both seen. And then in this lucid dream, she comes around the corner like she was always there. And then you have the Mandela effect though, where it
Mhm.
always was, it always was. But for us, it just came around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Interesting.
it takes me into the question of synchronicities. Like I said earlier, are we tricking ourselves by these labels? What is you say, okay, this that you think about your friend, they call you, blah blah blah, this and that. You were thinking this, you see it out and about, blah blah blah. Oh, whatever. You thought what I thought, blah blah blah. Synchronicity, right?
Hmm.
But what is really happening here? It's all thoughts because I'm thinking about this particular picture of a person, and then I go out and about and I'm looking at a newspaper and I see a picture that looks exactly like that. You know what I'm saying? This
Yeah.
actually happened, and this actually happened. This guy named Dark Wolf. I mean, excuse me, is his name Dark Wolf? I forgot now. Like, sorry about that. Yeah, I think his name is Dark. Yeah, Dark Wolf. My bad. He's from the IMEC. You've heard of IMEC?
Say it again.
I'm black and I'm proud. Say it
No.
again. I'm black. Sorry about that, James Brown.
Mm.
Uh, have you heard of the IMEC, the International Mandela Effect Community?
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, do you recall who's on the panel there?
I didn't really learn that much about them because when they first came out, it seemed like they were like this was my opinion from what I got from them. I didn't really like follow them too much because it seemed like they were kind of a group that was just jumping on the bandwagon to try to make the Mandela effect mainstream or something, and they didn't seem as as authentic. And so I mean I didn't really pay a whole lot of attention to them. So yeah, no, I didn't know who was on the panel on those on there. No.
There's a guy on the panel they call the Godfather of the IMEC. He goes by the name Dark Wolf. And I talked to a lot of these people behind the scenes before they even did their third version of the IMEC. They were actually talking about it and getting it all together. And I was one of the people that was the fly on the wall. I was a part of a private live stream. We didn't stream it public. It was just private, and we were all there. Even Money Bags. You heard of Money Bags?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, even Moneybags showed up. Even the flat earther guy showed up and brought another flat earther guy. So a lot of people met up back there and talked. So um, yeah. So I was telling him about. He has a picture of himself, and just long story short, um, I believe it was a newspaper. I went out and about a couple of days later. Then I seen a picture in the newspaper that looked exactly like this picture that he has of himself. And I showed it to him. I took a picture of it and showed him proof. And everybody in the back room was there. They were like, man, that's crazy, man. So that would be called a synchronicity because it looked exactly like his picture, but it wasn't him. Um, but I'm just thinking that maybe the bottom line is just thought. It's just what you're thinking is manifesting, is showing up in your reality. You know what I mean? Um, um, and then at the same time, maybe we're tapped into knowing when your friend is going to call. You're getting like a little bleep inside of you that your friend is about to call. That happens with me a lot too. And I have I'm able to I know excuse me. I know how to discern my spiritual abilities from other things like synchronicities and things like that. So I'm thinking that when you know your friend's about to call, that's part of your psychic, intuition, or you call it intuition or whatever. I think that's what that is. But I think synchronicities are pretty much, your thoughts showing up, manifest, and it just looks the same, similar. It may
Yeah.
not be exactly the same. Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah. I
pushing.
like synchronicities. Uh,
Mhm.
I think they have meaning. Like I'm not quite sure what it is, but they happen for a reason. Because I don't believe in coincidence. So uh, I agree. It could totally be your mind manifesting. Uh, and just putting certain thoughts uh, out there that that come back to you. So
Yeah, pushing has a question for me there.
right. Oh yeah.
I think.
We got Pushin and Sandy in the chat. I think they're the two newest that we haven't called out yet. So welcome guys. Thanks for uh, Pushin said he didn't get the notification, so he was late. So it's all good. And we understand how YouTube works. But you got your question here is prop. Do you think you would have heard the warning if you had headphones on, like when you were
Well,
crossing the street?
right. I literally had headphones on me, on my head. Um, at that very moment, I wasn't listening to anything. I was just thinking. I didn't have anything playing. I believe that they were just on, around my neck at that moment, but I think that they may have been on my head, but I wasn't playing any music at the time. And when I heard the voice, it was clear in my head. Like you hear my voice. I can't hear myself. Well, I could hear myself, but not like y'all could hear me, right? That's how it was. It was just it was sudden. It was just like out of nowhere, but it was in my head.
Yeah. Yeah, I think even if you were listening to music and had your headphones over your ears, you would have probably still heard it because it probably was a voice that didn't come through your ear your physical body anyway. So it would have probably you would have probably been able to hear it over the headphones. That would have been my guess. But yes, uh, yeah, Sandy is here. She said she can't hear the show at the moment because she's rendering a video for her show tonight. That was actually her that text message you heard sound the robot uh, saying that the show is she's putting up the show for 12:30. So so everybody after we get done chatting here, uh, I'll put the link as soon as she gets it up. If she gets it up before we end here, I'll throw it in the chat, and everybody have to go over and check out Sandy's show at 12:30.
Now, see, you fell for it. See, you know what you fell for?
What's that?
San- Sandy said, "Now she's just trying to crash my stream, man. That's not right, man. She's trying to say that she should, she's trying to say she's all, no, nah, nah. She's trying to crash my stream, our stream. Nah, 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 nah. Her
Yeah.
show was at her show was at 2 a.m. No, I was playing.
Yeah, everybody knows that Saturday nights. If I do a Higher Minds episode on Saturday nights, that it usually a 2 hour. If we start at 10, uh, we usually try to wrap it up around midnight because it's just kind of it's like a warm up show uh, for Sandy's because that's her regular night. So she's been on way longer than me. I can't I can't intrude on her time. Uh, and I think 2 hours is a good little time frame for a beginner at the whole streaming thing like me. So uh,
Okay, that sounds good. I was just confused about one part. You said you didn't want to intrude on her time.
yeah, right. Yeah, she's had her show set on Saturday nights at midnight for a long time. You know what I mean? So, and with me doing a new show, I don't want to come in and start live streaming over when she is. I'm just out of respect to her and her show. I kind of look at that as her time her time slot, because we have, a lot of my listeners, you know, uh, learned about me from Sandy. So, it'd be kind of rude, you know what I mean? Out of respect, like I don't want to be rude and, you know, live stream, during her regular time, and, possibly take audience, listeners away from her. You know what I mean? That's all. So we just try to keep it, you know, we're all friends, and uh so that's why I set up on Friday nights. I can probably go as long as I want to, because I don't know, I don't know anybody that has that time slot locked down. But on Saturdays I always try to keep it to midnight uh or so.
So you're saying that just to throw it out there, you said that you're still new. Okay, I know you're new. You still you just kind of started or whatever, and then, but you're saying that you will take her audience, but she's been streaming longer than you.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, I don't want, I didn't mean I would take her audience, but um there, everybody, I think everybody that um comes to my shows, found me from her show. So uh if they're listening to my show, they might not get the notification, or be paying attention or whatever, and see her shows going live. Uh and it's just a respect thing between friends, trying to, respecting her time slot. And she does the same for, you know her, other friends that do shows. So it's all good.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, yeah. We have any more questions for you, man? Propagate. It's never too late to propagate light. You know.
um well, I did want to, I have that what was it that you wanted to share, about the Rippin' Rabbit Hole live show? Did you want to talk about that for a minute? And uh I can put
Okay.
that,
So you,
I can.
yeah, you want me to go ahead and teach everybody to rip the rabbit hole? Okay. So the mouth. I mean, well, that didn't sound right either. Sorry about that. That you should have a drum roll for a bad joke. So this right here is the first. So I've always told people that. So my channel's been up since 2017, and I didn't really put nothing on it until about 20. Wow, we got a bongo there at least, huh?
That was the lid on my coffee cup. You hear
Okay.
everything. You got good ears, bro.
Um, yeah. So I didn't put nothing on my channel until 2020, around that time. And even around that time, a year is 365 days. That's a lot of days. So in that time, we got a lot of work done. So I got a little known here and there. And one of the people that was in this backroom chat, like I was speaking about earlier, from the IMEC crew. This person's not in the IMEC crew, but you know, we all met at the same time. We are all kind of close at the time. I asked her if she wanted to do a stream with me. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like what I did with Mud Rabbit. Anybody been to my channel, the open panels? I
Hmm.
started off with Mud Rabbit there, and it gave me a chance to get to know her because I didn't really know her that well before then. I met her on the channel um, that the guy mostly talks politics, but Mud Rabbit was admin in the chat. She's pretty good at it, so I just kind of asked her if she wanted to do. So that was the new panels that I'm doing that I'm is actually still ongoing. The open panels in my live streams tab. But back then in 2020, I asked this other female if she wanted to do a stream with me. Now, before that, we even did a stream, and before we even told anybody that we're going to go ahead and go with this idea, this guy here that runs this channel, the Rip and Rabbit show on YouTube, we knew him too. He's the one that was running the private chat. He has a channel, and that's how we all met because Moneybags mentioned that he was going to be on that channel and get interviewed, and we all flocked over there, and we all didn't even know each other, but we were all watching the same stream. So we flocked over there to Rip and Rabbit to watch the Moneybags interview, and that's how we all met. And the guy from this channel, the Rip and Rabbit show, he created a backroom private chat so people could just like, after the show, we could just continue the conversation or whatever. And it
Uh,
was kind of like this. It was like this, people could be on camera, or it was just like StreamYard. It was just like this, but it wasn't public. So anyway, before we told anybody about the idea of doing a stream together, the guy from the show, he asked to interview both of us. Now, mind you, we didn't tell anybody we were about to do a stream together, but this guy literally said, "I want to interview both of y'all." So I guess he's seen the star quality in both of us. I don't know, because we end up doing some really good streams later down the line. So he interviewed us. So this is my first interview ever. Back in what was the date on there?
June 4th, 2020.
Yeah. So around the 1 hour mark is when around there is when we start, and you'll hear the lady talking that I did the stream with. We did 28 episodes. She went by the name of My Life. The show was called My Life and I, or the broadcast. Um, yeah, so she's on here being interviewed along with myself, and yeah, you go to Rip and Rabbit YouTube if you. Oh, you have the link, right?
Yeah, I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Yeah, if anybody's interested, there's the proof right there. That's my very first interview. And at this time, I didn't even have content on my channel. I didn't even start yet. I
Yeah.
didn't start yet. I was new to this whole thing. No content. And so you can see the difference. Like I didn't have a headset then, and it was a long process learning what works and what doesn't work, feedback and all this other stuff. It was a long process. So I think I got it together now. So
Yeah.
what's
Well,
up,
it's
mind?
funny. It's funny when you sent me that link and I seen Rip and Rabbit Hole. I'm like, that sounds really familiar, and I couldn't figure out where I knew that from. But then when you said you went over there, you all flocked over there for the Moneybags interview. I'm like, oh, that's it. That's exactly where I know this show from, and that's where I started watching Rip and Rabbit Hole, was because Moneybags was on there, and he had put a couple of like I think he either clipped it or streamed it on his channel also. So so yeah, that's interesting. I do remember that when that happened.
See, this is nice. I love it, man. So it come full circle. We kind of known each other on the outskirts, and now we're actually having a conversation. So
Yeah, it's
nice.
amazing. Yeah, it's amazing how things like that work out. Like we've been running apparently in the same circles for the last 7 or 8 years, and yeah, I just started making content. You started making content, a couple years back, or several years back now. But yeah, exactly, kind of comes full circle. So yeah, I love it. I love it when stuff like that happens. Uh,
Yeah, and I love it. Like Levitz also in the Chizat here, in the studio knows exactly what I'm talking about. AJ is the guy's name, and she, excuse me, in the studio mentions also Dark Wolf. That's the person I mentioned earlier. Dark
right?
Wolf's
Yeah.
den was, and so this was, excuse me, not this was, but he's still streaming on the channel. This is actually a syndicated show, so it was playing on the radio as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, this whole show on YouTube is syndicated. It's also on the radio, so he has it
Oh,
set up like that. Yeah,
cool. Yeah, kind. That's kind of like that sounds like kind of like a spaced out radio.
yeah, or Coast to Coast or something. Because the guy AJ, he sounds to me. I told him also he sounds like that guy from Coast to Coast. I forgot his name. Are you familiar with that? Coast to Coast AM?
I've heard of Coast to Coast, because I remember Dan calling in there one time, and then them cutting him off, and yeah, Art Bell, right? That was Coast to Coast.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Yeah,
RBL.
yeah. I never listened to them, but I have heard of them, and am aware that they were around, real early. So
Hmm. Yeah, so that's it about this. This is the name of the show, Superstition. So yeah, I guess you already posted the link. So yeah, definitely. That's my very first interview. Oh, it says it right there, June the 4th, 2020.
yep.
Thursday. Wow, Thursday. I've been streaming on Thursdays. I didn't realize that this was on a Thursday.
Hmm.
Oh, it's 7 p.m. Wow. 10/9 Central. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think we have something in the Chizat. Let me see what we got here. I just seen something pop up. Now that you mentioned it, I do remember. Oh, so the mine was there as well? You called in too? I don't know if you want to get that on the screen.
Hmm.
The mine says he called in uh of this show before. Um oh Sandy. Oh no, error stall Joss. LOL.
Yeah, right.
You're
Yeah,
in the stall?
yeah, she looks like she's having problems. Like she's uploading a video, and it's hanging on 99% and still saying 10 minutes. Uh, so she's saying we can stall. We have a little bit more time than 12 o'clock. Uh, that we can keep going. But I can't find the comment from the mind. Was it
Oh, he
was it
says,
real far back?
oh, can you hear me? My
Yeah, I
bad.
can hear you.
Oh,
Yeah,
my mic
yeah.
is on.
Mm,
Okay, I thought my mic was mute. Um, so no, actually the mine is correct. Putting the correction in there. No, I didn't call in. I remember when Dan called. Wait a minute, Dan called that show? Oh, he probably
yeah,
did, cause
right. That's what I was
Dan.
saying. Dan called into Coast to Coast, and
Oh,
was like, and
coast to
called
coast.
him out on something that they didn't like, like, uh and basically asked him a question that they didn't like, and they just basically booted him, hung up on him, and didn't let him talk.
Mm, wow, that's a new one for me. I never knew that he called in because Dan. When I first got into when I first heard about the ME and I started like researching it, he's one of the first videos that I come across that really got my attention, to listen to it. That was way back in the day for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I didn't know
It,
that it was still on when he started talking about it. I got the impression that Coast to Coast was, off the air by that point, when he was talking about it. So I never went looking for it.
oh, okay. And if anybody want to get it, oh, you're playing bongos again. Nice.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all good. Um. Oh, you popping another soda? What you got? You got Coke? You got
No, it's the
no?
it's the little plastic lid on my coffee cup. Uh, what I mean,
Oh, I see.
like from Speedway, a little plastic. Like when I'm getting down to the end, so like I have to tip it all the way up, and it squeezes the plastic and it makes it pop. So that's all it is.
Oh yeah,
I
go
took
ahead. Handle that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I just
good
took the
part.
lid off, so now we won't hear it anymore.
Oh, that's all good. It's all
Mm-mm.
good.
Yeah.
Get down to the end is a good part, especially back in the days when I used to eat sugar. I'll have a coffee or something, and then you get down to the end, you got that little part at the bottom that's sugary, and run my finger through there. I know it's not hygienic or anything, but uh, and then anyway, so yeah, Dan, yeah, I wasn't aware that he called into Coast to Coast. That is because I used to listen to Coast to Coast a lot before all the ME stuff came around in my reality anyway. Wow. This thing goes full circle, doesn't it? Huh.
Yeah. Mm. So the
Okay.
mind says, Josh, you're just messing with prop, aren't you? I don't know what you're talking about in mind. I'm not messing with anybody. We're just having fun, but uh, I'm not sure what he was referring to, but I'm sure he was just joking. But but like we're getting to be friends. We can mess with each other. Uh, but yeah, no, I'm not messing with anybody. I'm 100%. If I say something stupid, that's me being 100% stupid, or I'm just being me, trying to be as real as I can.
You're trying to be?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I am trying to be. Uh,
Nice.
because I mean,
Nice.
there's always points where like I was telling you, like I want to, make this a good show, and have it run professional and stuff, and that's not really my personality, being organized and um, smooth, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm kind of not being me by trying to make you know what I mean. So like, yeah, so I would say, yeah, I mean, everything I say is true. Pretty much heartfelt. I'm not trying to lie to anybody, or not anything like that. I'm just trying to be as real as I can. But you know, you got to step out of your comfort zone sometimes and do some things that aren't really you at the core, but you just got to do them in order to you know get done what you want to get done.
Nice. Because some people don't even do that much. So I'll give you a hand clap for that. Anybody anybody at least trying to go into the right direction or do something professional. I that's really good. And I seen earlier in the chat, because that's me as well, to be honest. But pushing in the chat was saying the pyramids. Yeah, I failed to mention. I meant to say I got the expounding on things. If anybody wants to, I did start off saying this, but I didn't finish it. If anybody wants to know the date of the video that I seen of Scarab performance that really got my attention into the ME, it is the pyramid video. That's the one. And whenever he came out with that, I was watching it. That's the date that I went I went through the tunnel, sort of say. I
Mhm.
went down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole and whatnot.
yeah. It's a shame that his channel got taken down and all that content got lost.
Wait, what?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the channel he has now, it was his backup channel. Uh, like the channel that he originally started out on, that we were doing, that we were calling into the show and stuff like that. Um, I don't know how, somehow he got, it was some BS reason that YouTube was, uh, they didn't like him, and I think they went back and looked at it, like went back through all of his old videos and found enough to give him like 3 strikes, like all at once, and then just cut his channel off. And so luckily he already had a backup channel with half of his subs already went over there, so he switched. It was called the Book of Daniel, and then so he just started going on there, and then eventually changed the name back to Scare Performance. And that's it. Yeah, so if you go back, you won't find those pyramid videos or the Statue of Liberty videos, or any of his old live streams. Like, they're all gone.
Okay, okay. So that is so weird, man. So I guess
So
that
it's a good
pyramid
thing.
video.
Yeah, it's a good thing that you clipped your when you called in, because yeah, I think that was probably one of the ones that got taken down. So at least you have the record of it. That was a smart move on your part.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Like, do you know why you said YouTube took his channel down?
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, I'm sure somebody in the chat might know, but yeah, I think that it was, like he had 1 strike maybe for something, and then all of a sudden they went back and struck him 2 more times, like back to back on like old videos that had been up for like a year or 2 years, uh, for some, some BS reason. Um, and then, his channel was just gone. Um, oh, uh, Sandy says it was because, he was talking about, COVID and that whole thing. Like,
You just said it.
yeah, well, I don't think just saying the word now, it
Right, right,
can get you in too much trouble. And I'm a tiny channel, and I'm not monetized, so they're not looking at me quite as closely. But yeah, he had a couple thousand subs at least, I think, by that point. Uh,
right,
so they were looking at him a little closer than they would somebody like me.
right. Exactly. Right. Yeah, I was going to say something similar to that. What I was going to say is that people need to watch out. Oh, there's this other person I know. I'm not going to mention names, but you know, he was like, man, they took my video down or whatever. That I had up there a year ago. Why are they doing this? But you fail to realize, sirs, that all this time you've been getting striked because you keep saying things you're not supposed to say, and you know you're not supposed to say it, but you keep saying it anyway because you want to have this freedom of speech. So, duh, they're looking
Yeah,
at they're looking at your content, just like you just said. They're going through your content. You just put the spotlight on yourself, sir. You know what I mean? But yet instead you want to keep streaming on YouTube. So it's just a common sense thing to me. It's just like if you don't want the light on you, then but then some people don't know. Some people just like they go up there, they speak their mind, but you just have to watch what you're saying in the public space. You're on the world stage. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say anything. You
right,
know what I mean? And expect. Then people say, "Well, it's YouTube's fault." Is you? But did you read their TOS? Because you certainly agreed to it when you signed up. I mean, it says
right,
right there. You know, I even know that their last update was in October the 21st, 2020. Yeah, October. Sorry about that. October the 21st, 2022 or something like that was their last update. Kind of got that wrong, but it was in October, a couple of years back. So I even know that because I went and been reading it, keeping up with their updates and stuff. So I can know what I'm getting into and what I'm a part of.
yeah.
All right. Sorry about that.
That's right. Yeah, it looks like Sandy said he had 27,000, around that 27,000 subs. Like, I didn't remember it being that big, but yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, so they were definitely looking at him. And uh, back then especially, they didn't like Mandela effect content really to begin with. Uh, it seems like they always just kind of push that down, and the algorithm, and never really showed that stuff. And then yeah, and then getting into more controversial stuff. Like, they were even pretty strict on 9/11 talk. I think back then you had to censor yourself a lot. So I guess that's what you sign up for when you get on YouTube is, you agree to their rules, and uh, it is what it is. And also, I wanted to say hi to LJ. LJ said she's been lurking the whole time, but she finally spoke up. So uh, thanks for saying hi, LJ. Thanks for listening.
hmm People are talking about DNA in the chat, but it's like, um, yeah, ultimately, you just have to watch what you're signing up for, just in general. Like, or watch what you're doing, technology. Like these police shows I've seen. Um, uh, they will say like, is your phone on your person? And go into the spiritual part of this. Um, what do they mean by on your person? It's like, have you heard people say that before?
Yeah, I hear that a lot in like police lingo. Uh, they had it
hmm
on their person, or that
What
just
what do you think they mean? Yeah.
I think they just mean um, somewhere it's something that's either in your clothing or on something that you're easily accessible, something that you're carrying, um, something that you're attached, that's you know physically touching you, that you're holding or you're carrying. Anything like that would be anything you have on your person, whether it's stuffed in your sock or in your pocket or under your tongue. You know what I mean? Just anything that you're carrying, I would guess, is what they meant. That's what I took it as to meaning.
So why would they say a person on
Mm.
your person? They're speaking as a separate from you.
Well, because I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they mean it then like that, but technically it would be correct because you know if your soul is just the energy or the spirit inside of you that's controlling your body or controlling the person, then it would be on your person, meaning on your soul's person. I don't know. I mean, I guess that's about the best. And yeah,
Did you
these are all just opinions. I'm not a professional. I don't know. Never studied any of this. Just for entertainment purposes only. Mm, But sorry, just throwing in a little disclaimer there.
but if you studied it, would it make you a professional?
Depending on how long you study it and how much you learn about it and how how much you know about it, I guess at some point you would probably become a professional or an expert. Uh, but I don't know where that line is drawn or what the criteria of becoming an expert witness on something or an expert in a field. But I know the law has some sort of actual definition for it. I just don't know what that is.
Yeah, speaking of the law, I've seen a couple of videos where someone has to talk to the law, and that person that's talking to the law uh is a sovereign citizen. So from their perspective, they studied, they know the law. They they're not a, what do you call it, a nationalist. They're not traveling. They have these words and stuff that they use to get
Yeah, they're
themselves, you
traveling,
know.
not driving. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you. Yep, thank you. So it's just like, are they a professional at what they're, maybe from their perspective, but are like, does that mean anything in this situation?
Well, I
Because
mean,
what they're saying,
I
what they're
would say
saying.
no. Sorry, go ahead.
Hmm. Yeah, go ahead. I like
Yeah,
that. Hmm.
I was gonna say, I would say no. They're not. I mean, technically, they might be a professional at, sovereign citizenship, but the whole idea of sovereign citizenship is flawed because what they're saying isn't correct. Uh, their whole belief system is based on you know an incorrect interpretation of the law. Uh, so I mean, if you can be a professional at something that's inherently flawed, then yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe they're an expert on that subject, but it's not something I would be proud of to go be bragging about or anything. Does that make sense?
It's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, just like dollar bills when you break it. Um, yeah, that was a that was a
Yeah.
sleeper cell right there. But I'm a lyricist. But um, so I guess professionalism is it could be a person's perspective, maybe, because not to X out people that go to school for a piece of paper, like, respectfully, like,
Yeah.
no, but I I don't know. Maybe I guess sometimes a person being professional at something, maybe that could be their perspective. Like like you said, like I was saying, that we were talking about there. Uh, I forgot what you call those people.
The sovereign
Oh,
citizens.
sorry. Yeah, yeah. Not everybody will agree with what they're talking about. They still get arrested or whatever the case is. The cops is just like, yeah, yeah, whatever. They'll get out the car. Yeah, yeah, we heard enough. Yeah. This one episode I seen last night off of YouTube. The guy went to court and was going back and forth with the judge and interrupting the judge, saying that he's not this, he's not that. That's not his real name. His name is Prince something something, and they couldn't do court properly. So the judge kept um, reassigning the court uh, procedure for another date, and it just kept going on for like four different dates. This dude is sitting in jail right now because he refuses to tell them his correct information, like what his real name is and all this stuff. So
Mm.
they made this episode, this law enforcement episode. They made it look like a episode from the Twilight Zone. So they kind of like made it like with that theme. So at the end, the narrator was talking like he's Rod Sterling, and just basically said the guy's still in jail right now because he chooses to just be that way. Like even if it's him sitting in jail, like
Yeah.
it's like really, it's like really, like anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get people like that. But real quick question: Who did you say? Who's Rod Sterling?
I know that the T is not there now, so that's how I know.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to catch you on that because you said it the way I remember it. I remember it Rod Sterling. I think he was like the creator or the writer, or producer, or something of Twilight Zone. But
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you are correct. It's now Rod Sterling. Uh, so yeah, I just couldn't let that one pass.
Yep. For sure. For sure. Any other ones you got for me, or any questions?
um,
Any other one? Hmm.
I'd probably have a few more questions, but we're kind of running out of time here. I know Sandy said to stall, but I usually need about 10-15 minutes break in between ending my show and then getting over to her show because the puppy usually needs some attention, take a little walk and whatnot. Um, so I
Hmm.
guess the last thing that we got here would be this video that you shared with me that you wanted to share that you'd I don't know you'd what it is that you produced it or you put it together made the video for it uh, for Sharon Musgrave. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
No, no, I'm just joking.
You're like, okay then. Uh,
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
night,
yeah.
folks.
Okay,
No, I'm
yeah,
just kidding.
yeah. Thank you. Good night. Like Prince used to say. Um, yeah. So this is a lady that I've known for some time, for some years, and she's a R&B singer, and she's kind of popular in the '90s. I'm not too familiar with that, but after I met her, she showed me some clips and things on YouTube of her being on TV shows and things like that. And I know her through my podcast, my music podcast, Propagate This Light .blogspot.com. I'm I'm shifting a lot of my podcasts there. I have my smooth jazz there. She's on a lot of my smooth jazz shows. She's been sending me music. She has a band. She's a jazz R&B singer type thing, not that type thing, type of style. She's professional. You know what I mean? She's on I think she's on a record label. So I
Oh,
just
nice.
she said, yeah. Actually, people that have been on record labels have sent me drops um for my music podcast. You hear a lot of voices on there, um, like in between the songs and stuff like that. These are people that supported me back in the day, and some of them are artists, But anyhow, she's one of the artists, and she's been sending me music, and is professional enough to put on my podcast. So
Yeah,
she
she
has a
sounds really
website.
good. I listened to that song and yeah, she's really good. I liked it. And that was what I was going to ask you next. Does she have do you have a link for her, a website or a YouTube channel or somewhere where people can go check her out?
Oh, the mind says he needs to send me some of his music, huh? Yes,
Mm.
yeah. People used to send me their music for my podcast anyway, to be on it. Yeah, she has a website, and what is it? SharonMusgrave.com. Uh, MUSGRAVE. SharonMusgrave.com. If you go to her video area where she has her music videos, you'll see that there's her version of this video we're about to show. I went ahead and re-edited it, and I added scenes. I actually spent money on some of the stuff to put to make this, and to make it to where she could use it, not just like something I put together and you can't really do nothing with it. No, she could use it professionally. You know what I mean? I literally paid for this to happen. You know, so I re-edited her video so you can see the difference, and then she actually shared it on her social medias. So this video is called "The Embrace" by Sharon Musgrave. Thank you for having me on, and I appreciate the chat. Chizette, and Sandy Diva as well. Peace.
Mm. All right. Well, I just put the link to Sharon's page there in the stream, or in the chat, and let me scroll up here and we'll do a quick shout out, and then we'll play out with the song. So I'll go back as far as I can see. Uh, Looks like it's pretty close to the beginning. First one I see here is Heron Song, Mr. Super Sidewinder, Propagate This Light, of course, myself. The Mind is here. Golden Sai was with us earlier. I don't know if she's still here. Joe King Explores the Realm. Stop by. I wish there was a better way of doing this. Uh, so I could get through it quicker. I should start doing what Sandy does and writing down everybody in the chat. But Pushing Buttons is here. LJ is here. Let's see. Sandy Diva, of course, is here, getting ready for her show. I haven't seen a link pop up yet to throw in, but if she gets one up here in the next few minutes, I'll throw it in. Oh, Ken Raz is here. I didn't get to say hi to Ken Raz the first time, but Ken Raz, thanks for being here. In the studio is here, Michael Fontaine. Getting down. If you haven't said something in a minute, say hi in the chat again, and you'll pop up at the bottom. We'll get you at the end. LJ, Sandy, Mind. Yeah, looks like we might have got everybody. All right. Well, I just want to thank everybody for being here, checking out the show. Listening, staying for, as long as you stayed, and I guess we'll catch you on the next time. Any last words you want to say, Mr. Propagate?
Oh,
Mm.
Mister, I like that. Yeah.
You got to show respect. I respect you. I think you're a good guy, smart guy. So
hmm
I can show respect.
Okay, I
Mm,
appreciate that. But yeah, yeah, I tell people as a part of the community, you can always call me Prop, if for short, if you want to. But I appreciate that. Um, nah, just again, let me go through the Chizat real fast. Let me see here. Oh, for those that don't know, check me out. I'll try to keep streaming on Mondays, 5 p.m. PST. I've been doing the everyday hustles struggle. So, but that's usually the time. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to do a stream this Monday. I know people are waiting on it too. So, LJ, yes, I will prop in the chat. That's my I posted my. Did you mind there that I posted the link to my
No, not at
podcast?
all. That's absolutely fine. Um, and
Okay.
that's also in your description on your channel, correct? Uh, you have a link to that
Yeah.
in your channel description, which is pinned up to in the pinned comment. So, uh, when we get out of here, be sure to go up to the pinned comment and uh, check out his page. And uh, I'm pretty sure everybody here uh, probably already been to your page once or twice, but yeah. So yeah, go check out his channel, check out his blog spot, and yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sounds good.
Does it does this show as clickable? Does the link show as I had to do it manually?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's clickable. It took me to a page that said your connection is not private.
Oh, that's because Blogspot hasn't updated their security certificate, so
Uh,
you're all good. Yeah, you're all good. You just it's not reading the HTTPS thing, but yeah,
oh
it's
right, yeah,
if
exactly.
you
It's marked out in red. The
yeah.
HTTPS. Yeah.
Yeah, usually I'll just go ahead and click continue, and then you should be all good. It's just a security certificate of the website. That's about it.
Okay. But yeah,
Um,
yeah, it worked. It was clickable. So
mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Here's a video. Sharon Musgrave, and I re-edited. This is my version of her video. You can find on her website.
all right, sounds good. Well, thanks for being here, Prop. I appreciate it. It's good talking to you, and you're welcome back anytime you want to do this again. I think it'll be fun, and I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate all you guys in the chat being here, and thanks for all the love over the last couple days. Sending the prayers for my whole ordeal of the hospital thing. So um, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for being here, and everybody go hop over to Sandy's show, and oh, looks like she's putting it up soon. So um, we got a couple minutes for the song, and I'll try to get it copied and pasted uh, into the chat before the song's over. So thanks for being here, everyone, and we will see you on the next show. Good night, everybody.
A sensitive kiss, one complete on the lips, a soft hand on a good face. What magic is this? The night covering it, where in the darkness they see them in the darkness. Behold the beauty, love, sensuality. I am holding you. You were holding me. Wanting you, you are wanting me. Honing in on tenderness, spending good time on this, and it's all for the best. It's all for the feeling. Moment that we're dealing in. a beautiful